So I know that there are a lot of sort of Monster of the Week episodes, or whatever you'd like to call them, but there's a little bit of mythology. Is there going to be any mythology that people might recognize from the first 9 seasons of the show? And
Yes.
Coming back? Okay.
Yes.
Can't tell us anything
That's
about
all
it,
I'm going to say.
probably.
Yes. Those are my answers. Yes, no. Yeah, there is, and there's a great mix, as there always is, of the mythology standalones and Monster of the Week, and Darren Morgan's just it has one, of course, that is like is brilliant. But I think the scripts are all really, really, really good, and so the first one is going to make your head spin, because you're going to go, wait a minute, what just happened? And that's all I'm going to tell you about that. But there's a lot of really good, there's a lot of good episodes, and there's a Skinner-centric episode which we're getting ready to shoot next. I'm very excited about, and I people have been talking about it, so I guess I can say that.
So, something that I really loved about this past season of The X-Files was that while it had its own standalone stories, it was also a great throwback to the originals, and kind of like, it was this show that won all these awards, and you're doing these campy, like, like little fan-based episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to see some of that
Yes.
in this?
And actually, I was talking to David about this. We were talking about one of the scripts, and I was like, this is vintage Mulder and Scully. This is like classic. This is throwback. This is what made the fans fall in love with the show. The way you guys are talking to each other, and it's like I was just reading it. I was like going, this is what we, this is how the show became what it is, and so it was very exciting for me to read it and experience it, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. So I think that there's some real good nuggets, some real good nuggets. Speaking to what you're talking about, so it's yeah. Especially in Darren's episode.
Where is Skinner when we catch up with him? Is he a believer himself? Is he still just believing because they believe? What's your sense of where
Skinner has seen? He's seen some things. He's looked up in the sky and he's seen some things.
Right.
So he definitely, and plus he has, as revealed in earlier episodes in the original run, he does have some history with paranormal,
right?
Which is spoken to. In the Skinner-centric episode, so you find out a lot about. Anyway, so yeah, I think so.
You are kind of a father figure. Like, I know that we have this whole thing with the cigarette-smoking man and him being like David Duchovny's dad, but you are also like a father figure to both Mulder and Scully.
I'm not that much older than they are.
I know, but still.
I'll hold him back.
Familial type of
Uncle, can we say uncle?
Uncle
Mitch?
figure.
Uncle Walter? Uncle Wally?
Uncle Wally.
Uncle Wally, can we go to Wally World?
So you're like this Uncle Wally to them, and
I'm done. That's it.
I can't even look at you.
I'm going to be Uncle
done.
Wally for the rest of my friggin' life. Why did I say that?
It's wonderful though, the way that you do like kind of protect them, but also not sort of, like a creepy uncle. But like
You mean with Scully?
Yeah.
I think he's got a little bit of a hankering for the redhead, but but I always put a little bit of that into Skinner, that there was whether it was maybe just a little bit of a flirtation, or there was something that maybe a little him being uncomfortable with their relationship a little bit. Sometimes I'd kind of just maybe try to seep that into what I was doing, not hit it over the head, but yeah. So I mean it's. I think that he's basically, and I don't know if I just said this, but I think he's their champion within the FBI, and he's there to facilitate as much as he can what they're doing without going beyond his own moral compass. Which I think there's a line in one episode, and Mulder goes, "Where do you stand?" And he goes, "I'm standing on the line that you keep crossing." So he's had to deal with that. Now he's okay. I think he's a little bit more okay than he used to be with them stepping over that line.
To me, Skinner's this iconic character.
God bless you. I love you. What are you doing tonight? What are you doing tonight?
find most interesting about this character?
Well, I think up to this point, there's a lot of a lot about him you don't know. You know who he is, why he does the things he does, why he's, why he supports them, why he, to a certain extent you do know that, but it's I think that he has some mystery about him. A lot of that is I think you'll find out more about him this season than you ever have, which I'm happy about.
Can I follow up on that, Mitch? Because do we find out what's been happening with Skinner during the sort of the interim times? Has he been off fishing or anything, or has he just basically been at the FBI?
He's still at the FBI. Yeah, he's still there, and there's a scene that actually speaks to that. Whoa.
Mitch, if you
I start to say things and it's like, no, I can't say that.
If you could have one other
We'd
role
like
in
to
your
hear it.
career come back the way Skinner has, what role would it be and why?
That I've done?
Yep.
I would like to explore Darby a little bit further on Sons, but I mean that's and they do have a Mayan spinoff, and he did end up marrying a Latina girl at the end of it. But I would have liked to have been able to spend more time exploring that character, because I think there was I couldn't spend the time that I would have liked to have spent working on that character. So yeah. Anything else? Y'all done?
That was our last question.
That's what I
anyway. Thank
thought.
you so much. Yeah,
Thanks.
I'll be standing.
That's enough of that shit.